let's start with the prayer. Om
Asmadgurubhyo namaha. Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyaha. Om Purnamidam Purnamidam Paramarishibhyo Paramarishibhyaha. Om Purnamidam Purnamadaha Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Ishavashyamidagam sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjithaha Magridhakasya Svidhanam. Om Kasyapanvaya Sanjatam Narayana Padasritam Sriman Narayanam Vande Yatishvara Priyajusham Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyashravana Kirtanam Vasudevam Jagatonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Krishnaya Yadavedaya Gnanamudraya Yogine Nathaya Rukminesaya Namo Vedanta Vedine Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Jai Shri Narayana.
Last week we started from 11.
That was 4 to
10. Okay. You can see the screen, Karan?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Screen. Okay. Okay. Yeah, please.
Sure.
Gentlemen.
Chapter 17. Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Yoga 4. Yajante Satvika Devan Yaksharaksham Rajasaha Pretan Bhuta Ganam Chanye Yajante Tamasa Janaha. Jai Shimanarana. Chapter 17, Sloka 4 summary. Lord Krishna said, Sattvic people worship Devatas, Rajasic people worship Yakshas and Rakshasas, other people who are Tamasic worship the dead and hosts of ghosts. Jai Shimanarana.
Jai Shimanarana. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, Sloka 5 and 6. Yeah, please go ahead, Andy.
Asastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapojanaha damba ahankara samyuktaha kama raga balanvitaha. Chapter 17, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha, Sloka 6. Karsayanta sarirastam bhutagrama macetasaha mam chaivanta sarirastam tan vidvasura nischayan.
Vidhyasura Nischayan.
Vidhyasura nischayan.
Yep.
chapter 17, sloka 5 and 6 summary. Jai Shriman Narayana. Lord Krishna said, those who are filled with ostentation, show off, deceit, pride, and ego, impelled by the strength of desire and attachment, practice severe austerity, that which is not prescribed by the scriptures. Sixth one, who lack the thinking ability, torture the collection of bhutas, 5 great elements that form the body and me inside the body. Know them to have non-divine resolve. Demonic nature mentality. Demonic nature / mentality.
Okay. Jai Shri Narayana. Okay, any questions on this end? Okay.
I know last time I think you mentioned this, right? Basically fasting, those kind of things. It has to be reasonable or something like that. That's what he's going to say, right? This is
yeah. I mean, it should be according to the scriptures.
Yes, yeah.
What is prescribed by the scriptures. It should not be to the extent that we torture our body. Yeah. I mean, of course, it is not given here, but let us say somebody has some medical problem, right? They should not be torturing their body. That is a bottom line here. Like they can, in the name of God, we should not be torturing our body. And what Lord Krishna said is that if we torture, our body, right, we are in turn torturing our Atma, which is the residing place, the body and the Atma residing place for Paramatma. So we are torturing him also. So we are not doing any favor to Paramatma. If we are thinking that we are torturing him and we are following this severe practice of self-discipline, austerity, self-discipline, or control that we want to have, right? I mean, it's not that austerity is not good. Austerity is good, but it has to be according to scriptures. So for fasting, we have Ekadasi, that is given to us once in 15 days. We have to do the fasting. Doing the fasting every day like that is not good. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Sloka 7.
I can chant.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Aharastapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyaha yagnastapastataha dhanam tesham bhedamimam shrunu.
Good.
Jai Shriman Narayana, chapter 17, shloka 7, summary. Lord Krishna said, even preferring food of all living beings is also 3 kinds. So also sacrifice, austerity, and charity. Listen to this threefold distinction of them. Earlier,
Okay.
Lord Krishna.
We can Yeah, stop there. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So
One small clarification, right? In Kannada, we read it shruno, right? I know in Telugu there's no sha, or maybe sa is something you use, right?
so there are three variants of sa, right? So one is sa, okay, where sing, for example, in English, right? That is a single S. I mean, there is
Yes.
no variant. I mean, sarva, here in Sanskrit. So this is one sa, okay, sa, and there is a sha, okay. Where do we have here?
It's in the last line.
Yeah, tesham. Okay.
Yeah.
So tesham is sha, is sh, shu,
Yeah.
in English, if you pronounce, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So typically we have these two, sa and sha. There is another letter, sa. Sa, it is between s and sh. Okay, so you have to pronounce it as sy kind of. Okay, sa. It s and aya together. That is sa, sruno.
Shruno. Okay. Okay.
So it is not shruno, or it is
Shru-
not sruno. It is
Shru- Shruno.
Let
Okay.
me pronounce it, sruno.
Sruno. Okay. All right. So in
sruno.
in Samskrita we have Shravana, right? Shravana means you're listening, right? So it
Yeah.
is something similar to this.
Yeah,
right?
this one, sa.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you,
this
sir.
is Sanskrit. So it is sruno is listen. Shravana means listening also.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Jai Sriman Narayana. So we are going to listen to Lord Krishna. I mean, in Bhagavad Gita, it's so wonderful that everything is given like, 3 types, 4 types like that, right? So it is almost like management presentation, like bullet point summary. And so we're going to listen to Lord Krishna, the threefold distinction of sacrifice, austerity, and charity. And also, of course, starting with food. Okay. Sloka 8.
Yeah, I can read, Andy.
Sure.
Siddhartaya Vibhaga Yoga, Sloka 8. Ayutsattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaah rasya snigdha sthira hrudyaah ahara swatvika priyaah. Jai Sriman Narayana, chapter 17, Sloka 8 summary. Lord Krishna said, food items that are promoting longevity, knowledge, strength, health, pleasure, and happiness, that are juicy, oily, nourishing, and attractive, are dear to Satwik people. Jai Sriman Narayana.
Jai Sriman Narayana. Okay. Any questions on Satwik food?
No, I think Oshigar, you can't teach Michi Bhaji just now. I let you know. Right?
I know. I was thinking, I think better we read this again, the whole thing. Oh my God, lot of cleansing required. We did so much bad things, so many bad things.
And we continue to do also, right?
I know. When you look at Mirchi Bhaji, hard to control.
In
And
limit
eating
is
food.
okay. Once a week is okay, not every day. So that's what.
Oh, I don't even eat once a year, Badrigaru. So
No, that's good. No, that's good. This is good.
Badrigar, Lord Krishna didn't give that exemption.
the frequency, yeah, he didn't say frequency.
No,
I
I'm
know.
I mean,
Badrigaru
see, basically, if you are, if you are eating it with that kind of, oh, I want to eat it, this is for me to enjoy, that kind of feeling, that is not, that's not good. But if you are taking in moderation, it is not to, it is not to satisfy our tastes, right? But it is taken as prasadam, or the offering to Paramatma, then it is fine. As long as, again, it is not, it's not too spicy, too hot. So that is not an issue. If we are taking in moderation of amount as well as the spice.
Yeah, in my son's wedding, somehow we succeeded Satwik food, but bhajis, I don't know.
No, it's okay. Bhaji is
One
not,
fry will be there. Yeah,
you're not
otherwise,
putting
I'm
the
about to
mirchi itself, right? You're not directly giving mirchi for or chili
yeah,
for
yeah.
eating.
But yeah, regular food we are trying not to give any onions and garlic, entirely Satwik.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, maybe one appetizer. Yeah, that's something.
And I think, especially weddings, right? There are people coming, right? It's not for us, right? Wedding is
Not
more,
for us. Yeah.
and I think,
the mirchi bhaji that is made here is not that spicy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you make that spicy, then even people who have settled here, they can take. So
What was the that's in New Jersey and in Dallas. That's not true, actually. You get true things. True.
Oh, okay.
In Dallas, and last year, I ate mirchi bhaji. I'm not, unfortunately, but yeah.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
Sloka,
that way Americans are Satwik people. They can't take spice.
Yeah, they can't take spicy. Right? Yeah, but no, I don't know if they're called Satwik. Other things anyway. Let's move on. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, this is one aspect, and I was very surprised to learn when I was reading a book. Hitler is a vegetarian. He's a pure vegetarian. So probably this we should consider it as one of the aspects.
But he has so much of what do you call Rajasic Kunal, right?
And
Tamasic.
tamasic, yeah.
Tamasic.
No, Rajasic. 24
Yeah, I
hours.
know Tamasic.
yeah, that's not. Yeah, there are so many things that we can learn using him as an example. That Rajasic and Tamasic.
Yeah. So one quick question, right? I don't want to digress again, but does the sweet hold a higher ranking than the spice? Because prasadam you make is sweet, right? And then there's nothing like sweeter versus spicier, right? So does it hold higher than the other palate, other taste palates?
So again, the sweet that we are getting right now is processed sweet. Okay, sugar is processed food. Actually, it is not natural. So it is like concentrated sweet, and the food items that are made of that sugar is not good. Okay, but if you take the natural sugary substances, they are our body accepts them much better than the natural spicy, like chilies, for example. So if you eat a like sugar cane, it's not a problem, or sweet fruits, not a problem. But if you eat chili, then our stomach starts burning, isn't it? So that's why in the previous Satwik food, it is juicy, including that is with a sweet flavor. Okay, juicy with sweet flavor, that is better for our body. Our body can take it better than the tikshna, that is spicy. But if you if you make a sweet that is made of sugar, concentrated sugar, and eat a lot of that, then our body, that's as bad as very spicy.
Understood. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, when this is written, this is written for the, I mean, this is given to us based on what is natural. But unfortunately, the food got corrupted. The food is now all processed food, so the sugars are not the natural sugars anymore, unfortunately. So that's why if we eat a lot of sugar, we get sickness as well. So maybe processed food should be included under the tamasic or correspond maybe rajasic, because it is completely modified, genetically modified, or processed concentrated sweets or concentrated oils. So again, this oil is Satwik. Oily food is Satwik, is given. The one that is ghee or butter, that is actually Satwik food. And unfortunately, the oils that we get in market are not the natural ones. So if you take if you see this, oh, this oily is good, Satwik. But if we consume the processed oils that we get in the market, that's not good.
So that means, including milk. Milk is a primary thing again, right?
Yeah.
Then we need to just go for grass-fed. I don't know. It will be processed either way, right? Just to retain that we store milk at least for 1 week, sometimes more than 1 week. So it's highly processed already. But are we saying just go for grass-fed versus the other regular organic?
I mean, anything natural, organic is good, not mixed with chemicals or processed food. So, but if we are not getting, the pure milk at all, right, then taking them in the moderation is fine. Again, we cannot say, oh my God, I have to now start raising cows in my backyard. That may not be possible. So whatever is practical, we need to take. The understanding is that, just because it is mentioned here, like, sweet is part of the Satwik, or oil is part of Satwik, doesn't mean that it includes processed food.
Jai Shriman Narayana, this is Rajni. Actually, if you want unprocessed fresh milk, there is a, on a website, Udder, they deliver your home. That's like pure milk that they took out from the cow. They come and deliver home. Many of my friends take that. So if you subscribe a weekly or whatever, as per your requirement, they do come. It's actually in New Jersey, it's not allowed as per law, but I don't know how Udder they got. It comes from Philly. So if someone is interested, I can share the information about them.
Actually, I was about to ask that, like in India, right? Just before, like even now, every day the milkman comes and we take fresh milk. which is far better than, right? I mean, it's like organic every day. But here we store like 15 days, 1 month. So definitely it's not a, good choice. But the thing, Rajnikar, you said, right? Even that one we can store 1 week means that's not a regular milk.
No, you're storing in refrigerator.
No,
So I
but
mean,
still,
outside,
I mean,
or you can boil it and keep it maybe. So I'm not sure how frequently they deliver, but based on your requirement, many of my friends get it. Maybe, I don't know, 3 days, 1 week. I never checked with them. But if you need, I can definitely collect information. And on website, there is a lot of information. So
oh,
you can,
okay. Interesting.
even
Yeah.
Gopal Farms from New York, they also do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
And yeah, please share
Yeah.
that information.
I'll do
Thank
that.
you. Mhm. Okay, moving on to Sloka 9. Oh, who can chant?
I can do it, and no.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sloka 9. Khatvam lavanatyushna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasasyestaha dukkha sokamaya pradaha. Chapter 17, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Shloka 9 summary, Jai Shri Manarayana. Lord Krishna said, bitter, sour, salty, very hot or very cold, spicy, pungent, dry, and burning foods are dear to Rajasic people. These Rajasic foods produce pain, grief, and illness. Jai Shri Manarayana.
Jai Shri Narayana. So basically, so Rajasic people prefer this food, or this food generates the Rajasic qualities. I mean, that generates the Rajasic tendencies in us. Okay, so that is how we need to take. So if we want to control our Rajasic tendencies, we do not want Rajasic qualities. If we do not want to be attached to, associated with Rajasic qualities, then we should not be taking this food. Again, we can, of course, we can take salt that is mixed in, like curries and things like that. That's not a problem. But eating that by itself or too much salty food is not good. Again, we can use, the little bit chili powder is fine, but using that, in a higher quantity, to burn our tongue, right? To actually feel that burning of that tongue, that is not good. So, and that applies to all. And things which are difficult to digest and they are not good for the stomach, also not preferred. They are preferred by the Rajasic people. So we should not take them. So, I mean, these are like all these are generating some kind of a reaction at the moment we experience, right? They are good for the senses. I mean, of course, for the people who are Rajasic, they are able to, they are enjoying that sense of, let's say, bitter, sour, salty, very hot, very cold, spicy. All these are, they're enjoying that sensory pleasure they are getting when they taste that food, right? So that is enjoying sensory enjoyments are the characteristic of Rajasic people. So that's why they prefer this food which stimulates their senses, and they feel that enjoyment, satisfaction. So the people who do not care about their sensory enjoyments, right? Who do not have that as their goal, they obviously do not prefer these, because after this kind of food goes into their stomach, it starts burning and it starts creating pain, illness. So Sattvic people, they look at the long term. They don't care if their senses are being satisfied. They're getting the pleasure for their senses, but they would take care of their health, long-term health, right? So that's why Sattvic people, their food is, they're promoting longevity. Their life, and then the strength, health, pleasure, happiness. These are the effects that Sattvic people are looking for. Rajasic people don't care about that. I mean, they first want sensory pleasure. Unfortunately, they'll end up with pain, grief, and illness later. Okay, so let's look at 10. Who can chant?
Nobody reads, I can go and
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, chapter 7, sloka 10. Yatayamam gatarasam puti parushitam chayat uchishtamapi chamedhyam bhojanam tamasapriyam.
Okay.
Jai Sriman Narayana, chapter 7, sloka 10 summary. Lord Krishna said, food that is not fresh, lost original taste, stinking, stale, that is left over by others after eating, and unholy is dear to tamasic people. Jai Sriman Narayana.
Jai Sriman Narayana. So tamasic people are lazy, they're ignorant. So their natural tendencies, again, they don't strive to get fresh food. I mean, something that is left over, it's very easy to get, right? I mean, they can simply make once and then eat for 10 days if they want to. So they don't want to really, work hard. I mean, just trying to, understand why these tamasic people, they're eating fresh and not fresh, stinking, stale food. Is their natural tendency is to be lazy and ignorant. They don't even if somebody says, hey, you are going to be unhealthy, they will only look at, oh, I ate it yesterday, but nothing happened to me. But if something is eaten like that for a long time, then it may cause problems. Not fresh, I think maybe we should also, nowadays we need to treat this as the processed food, right? I think we may have to understand this as something that is processed, because processed food is as bad as not fresh.
Yeah, coming to this point, sir, I was reading, right, the last one, food that is left over by others after eating, similarly sharing the food in the same plate with other people. I know what it means, like, but in some families, not families, the old thing, right, wife eats, I don't know how far it is true, always used to eat after the husband leaves his plate, same plate. It's their dharma, it's her dharma, that they used to say. I know nobody's doing now for so many reasons. But do you think that
there is an exception? I don't know about, I mean, this is what is documented, that the exception is food,
Uchishta.
excluding the food that is left over by acharyas, gurus, and spiritual teachers.
Mm.
So if the husband is considered as Pati Parameshwar, right?
Parameshwar,
The God is equivalent to God, and so it is like say God is blessing them with the leftover, right? So that is how they take it. I mean, if if that is the reasoning behind their taking it, right, and the husband is also pious like that, like Acharya or Guru, then it is according to scriptures. But otherwise, I don't think that is that is preferred. I mean, just eating. Husband is not like a Acharya or Guru or spiritual leader, teacher, and wife doesn't consider husband as a equivalent to God, but forced to eat, leftover by that person. Then
I don't know if sir, but yeah, my mother always ate, right? Even now, she makes it a point that she does that. Yeah, sometimes the health issues she might eat in a different plate. But before, we used to use the plantain leaves every single day, right? For lunch and dinner. Dinner mostly, I think, if I remember correctly, childhood. But the same plantain leaf, my mother would prefer to eat, right? And not just that, like all my aunts and everybody, they all ate their husbands, whatever, right? But again, we used to touch feet also, right? Husband's feet. So
one more thing is that it's not doesn't say that we have to eat in the same plate as Acharyas has left, right? It is not that. I mean, so usually they feed these acharyas, gurus. I mean, they're not feeding. Like they offer it to acharyas first, and then take the remaining. Okay, it's not like everybody now starts eating in the same plate as acharya. That's not the point there. So I don't know. I mean, eating in the same plate is even for husband wife, even that is proper, even if the husband is considered as God, right? It's probably like you offer the food to them first, and then whatever is left over, you eat it. That is much more healthy than eating in the same plate. This is, I mean, basically one thing that we need to understand from here is not whether husband-wife scenario, or whether we can eat in the same plate or not. But the important thing is that a lot of people, practical scenario, right? A lot of people share the same water bottle, for example. Okay. So this is definitely not, this should not be preferred, right? Like drinking from the same water bottle, like one person drinks and then another person like that. That is not good. So it is considered tamasic. Okay. And similarly, like eating in the same plate for whatever reason is it is, I don't know, maybe is it maybe they have already thought about the kind of health problems that it will lead to, is one thing. Or the other reason is that typically what is left over by others, I mean, these people are so lazy that they can't even like they can't even have separate food, I mean separate plates, and then eat. For example, if like water, right, sharing water in the same water bottle, like they are so lazy that they can't have multiple water bottles. So that kind of shows that laziness attitude. Okay. 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 Did we cover 11 last? No, right?
No, Andy. No.
No. Okay. Okay, we'll start with 11 today. Let's start with the prayer. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasetravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. You can start sloka 11. Okay, let's start 11. Aphala kankshi bhiryajno
Aphalakankshibhirajño
vidhi drushtoya ijyate
vidhidrushtoya yujyate
yasthavyame veti manaha
yastavyameveti manaha
samadhaya satvikaha.
samadhaya sa satvikaha.
Let's chant together.
Aphalakankshibhirajño vidhidrushtoya yujyate yastavyameveti manaha samadhaya sa satvikaha.
So Lord Krishna is now, so we covered the foods, the three kinds of foods, sattva, rajas and tamas, or sattvic food, rajasic food and tamasic food, or the food preferred by sattvic people, rajasic people and tamasic people. Now Lord Krishna is mentioning about the yagna, the sattvic yagna in sloka 11. In the next two slokas, Rajasic Yajna and Tamasic Yajna. So, so Yajna, so which Yajna is, Yajna in English is sacrifice, right? So, but I mean, it is so frequently used, I think we should start using Yajna by, that word itself. Okay. So yaha yajnaha, so whichever or whatever yajna ijyate is performed, aphala kankshibhihi, by those who are who have no desire for fruits. Okay. Phala kanksha is desire for fruits. Aphala kanksha is not having desire for fruits. Aphala kankshi bhihi is by those who are who have no desire for fruits. That is, fruits is the results of the yajnas, right? We are talking about yajna, so the results of the yajna or results of the activities that they are doing. What kind of results? These are the results like reaching heaven. People look for that kind of yajna where they want wealth, they want um, the materialistic pleasures. So those are the kinds of fruits that we are talking here, not the desire for God. Okay, for not the desire to be liberated or to reach Paramatma, to be liberated from samsara. That is good to have. So these people, the Sattvic people who perform this yajna, okay, they are those people. They do not have the desire for the materialistic pleasures. Okay, and vidhi drushtaha. Vidhi drushtaha is as ordained by scriptures, so as per the scriptures. So these yajnas are performed as per the scriptures, not as some whoever is performing it, not according to their liking. Okay, whatever is in scriptures they follow. Yastavyam, okay, is they're performed considering it as service to God. Okay, that they have to do this activity. It's not like somebody is forcing them to do it, right? They do it because they have to do this activity. There's a difference. Somebody is forcing them is different from it comes from their from their heart. You can imagine that way. So that they do it as, oh, I have to do this. I mean, there's no question of choice there, right? Or liking, disliking, so of course they like it because they do it as service to God. It's not for their own. The Sattvic people, they do not have their materialistic desires. They are only interested in doing activities as service to God. So yastavyam, performed considering these yajnas are performed considering it as service to God. Okay. And samadhaya manaha. Okay, samadhaya manaha is having resolute mind. Like they do not have like oh, shall I do it, shall I not do it. It's that kind of wavering is not there. Okay, they decide to do it, and they do it as service to God. Okay, because they have to do it. Okay, that they naturally comes out of it. So that is from, if we are looking from the perspective of the Sattvic person. But any yajna that is done like this by the people who have no desire for fruits, those who are the yajna that is done according to scriptures, and then yajna that is performed as service to God, the yajna that is done by those or performed by those who have resolute mind. They do not have any doubts, or force behind them to do it. Such a kind of yajna is Sattvic yajna. Okay. Any questions on this?
What is yagna in the daily life for us?
So the yajna that we typically know is, when we do the Homa activity, right? The people perform yajna with offering like fire to the fire god, offering all the material to the fire god. That is typically that's what we know. But yajna can be any activity that we do. Okay, any activity that is done as an offering is yajna. Okay, so now if we are doing it as service to God, then it becomes Satwik yajna. Okay, according to this definition, right? The Satwik yajna is performed considering it as service to God. So if, let us say, we are having any daily activity, for example, you are cooking food, and now that can also be a yajna if it is done as an offering, a service to God. Not, and also it is not for your, when it is prepared, of course you are going to take it as blessings from Paramatma later, but when you are doing that activity, it is not something that you are doing it because you like it, you like the taste of it, that then it doesn't become Satvik yajna. When you are cooking food, you are cooking for Paramatma, cooking as service to Paramatma, service to God, as an offering to God. Okay, with no desire for that taste that you are going to get and what benefit you are going to get from it, right? So if you do that, then that cooking becomes Satvik yajna. Okay, I mean, for simplicity, right? Yajna is any dharmic activity that we should do when it is done without attachment as service to God. Is we can define that as yajna. Okay, so I mean that is closer to the Satvik yajna, but of course we don't want to say that, oh, there is Rajasic yajna and Tamasic yajna also, you can do it that way. We don't want to do our activities as Rajasic yajna or Tamasic yajnas. So the definition for yajna is any activity that is done as service to God without attachment to the results or the fruits of those actions. Okay, so that is yajna. So we, any activity you can take. So anything that must be done, right, is dharma. Dharma is activity that we should do, and dharma is according to scriptures. The righteous duties righteous duty is called as dharma, or righteous conduct is in English we call it as no, dharma is righteous conduct. Righteous, when you say righteous, it is according to scriptures. So any righteous duty that we perform as service to God with no attachment for the fruits is defined as yajna. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. Sloka 12. Abhisandhayatu phalam.
Abhisandhayatu
Abhisandhayatu phalam.
Dambharthamapi chaiva yat.
Dambharthamapi
Dambharthamapi chaiva yat.
Ijyate bharata srestha.
Ijyate bharata
Bharata
shrestha.
Shrestha.
Tam yajnam vidhi rajasam.
Tam
Tam
yajnam
yajnam
vidhi
vidhi
rajasam.
Rajasam.
Chant together.
Abhisandhayatu phalam.
Abhisandhayatu phalam.
phalam
Dambhavamapi
Dambharthamapi
chaiva yat.
chaiva yat.
Ijyate
Ijyate
bharata
bharata
shrestha.
shrestha.
Tam
Tam
yajnam
yajnam
vidhi
vidhi
rajasam.
rajasam.
Some of the texts have this second line, Dambhardha mapi chaiva yaha. Okay. Some have it as yat, some have it as yaha. I mean, which is fine. I mean, doesn't change the meaning. Okay. So both seem to be right. But most of the texts have yat. Okay. So Lord Krishna is now talking about Rajasam. Yajnam Rajasam. I mean, in the previous loka, it was said as Saha Satvikaha. Satvikaha is a masculine gender. So Saha here refers to the Yajna. So that Yajna is Satvika here. I mean, but when it came to Rajasam, it is neuter gender. So Yajnam Rajasam. So what is Rajasic Yajna? He's defining. Bharata Shrestha, or Arjuna. So Abhisandhaya Phalam. Tu is but, so we can take it out. So Abhisandhaya Phalam, or Phalam Abhisandhaya. So the yajna that is done as after aiming for the fruit. So the goal here is to get the fruit. So we are attached to the fruit. Okay. So whoever is doing this yajna with the goal to get the fruit that they are expecting. So they aim to get the fruit. What that fruit is either heaven or materialistic benefits or materialistic results that we want to enjoy. Whoever is doing it, they want to enjoy. So abhisandhayatu phalam dambhardham. So next is they are doing it with dambha. For dambhardham is for the sake of dambha, that is show off. Okay, so they want to conduct this activity, that yajna activity, with attachment to the fruits and for the sake of show off. Okay. Yatijyate, so that which is performed like this, tam vidhi yajnam rajasam. So know that as rajasic yajna. Very simple, right? Attachment to the fruit. The previous one doesn't have attachment to the fruit. Okay, aphala kangshibihi. And so we're just comparing, right? Aphala kangshibihi. And then they are doing it as yastavyam samadhaya manaha. So they're doing it as service to God with resolute mind. Okay. So here, so when we said this, when I have to do it, they're not thinking about themselves. Okay. But here, when they're doing that activity, when they're performing the yajna, they're only interested in themselves, right? To show off, that they are doing the activity. And yajna by itself is good. I mean, they are doing the sacrifice, but unfortunately, if they do it with attachment to the fruits and with show off as an intention, motivation behind it, then it becomes a Rajasic yajna. Okay. Any questions on that?
So the yajna, I mean, I know the fruits means if someone need kids or something, the health and those things are okay, right?
Yeah,
Or,
so those are Rajasic yajnas. Okay. So we want certain result that we want to enjoy in this particular world, right? Then they are Rajasic Yajna. Now, if we are doing it as service to God, then it becomes, even that can become Satwik Yajna.
That's it.
Okay. So, see, anything whatever we need to get from God only. Okay.
Yeah.
And Satwik doesn't mean that you should stop eating and enjoying this life, right? So that if we stop eating, then it is torturing our body, and God doesn't like that, right? I mean, that is non-divine, he said. So we need to have good food, and good health, and that is what is Satwik and divine quality. But what is the purpose of that? That is the thing, right? I mean, the purpose of having health or money is for my own enjoyment, then it becomes Rajasic. Purpose of having money and health is to serve Paramatma, serve the community, through using that, then it becomes Satwik. Okay. So I want health. Why? Because I'm not able to go to a bar and enjoy. Let us say. Then that is Rajasic, right? But if I want to have health because I want to serve Paramatma and serve all beings as service to God, then that is Satwik. So I want to have health is common in both. And to get that health, we need to pray to Devatas. Okay. Now, Satwik people also pray to Devatas, Rajasic people also pray to Devatas. But Satwik people have a higher goal, and they are not just doing those activities as show off and for their own benefit. They are doing it. The goal is to serve Paramatma, having those activities. Having whatever they are going to get from that yajna, whatever result they are going to get, they're not looking for that result for that sake of that result itself to enjoy. They want to have that result so that they can serve Paramatma. So, I mean, we conducted in 2010, we conducted the Vishwasanti Sri Yagam here in New Jersey. So, yeah, I mean, it is to get, to alleviate pain from the society. There are a lot of people who are losing jobs, and, housing market was going down, and a lot of people have had problems at that time. So Vishwasanti Sri Yagam was done according to the scriptures. Now you can see the difference, right? As ordained by the scriptures. Okay. And we were like, when we are doing that activity, it is not like, oh, these people now can buy, houses, and then they go on cruises, and then they go, they enjoy their life. Not that was not the goal. When we are alleviating their pain, the goal is to let them, go in the direction of serving Paramatma, because if they don't have money, they don't have health, right? How can they even survive? How can they do greater activities? So we pray to Paramatma to get us whatever result that we get, but not just to enjoy that result, but to serve Paramatma through that. Okay. And when we do the activity, I mean, again, this is, if it had it been done as a Rajasic Yajna, then it would have been for the show off, right? That means, like when we are performing the activity, we saying that I'm the only one who can do it or something like that. And then when the result is obtained, telling everybody, the primary goal is to tell everybody how great I am, right? That is show off, right? Like I want to explain, I want to show off to this world that I did this activity and this entire community got the benefit. Typically, when we do the activity, then we let us say we are doing the yagna or there is a yagna that is going on, then we sponsor for that yagna, so we become the yajamani is the one who is sponsoring that yagna. The yagna may be done by the ritviks, the priests, but whoever is sponsoring that, in our terminology, that person becomes a yajamani. Okay, so that person is doing it to say that, oh, I am doing it, that others are not doing it. Okay, then it is show off. Or that person is doing it because when the result is obtained, that they can show off. That is again rajasic. Okay, so that's a difference. If we want wealth or kids or anything, if we keep in mind that whatever we are getting as fruit, if that fruit is for our own enjoyment, then it becomes rajasic. Okay, but if that fruit is going to help me serve Paramatma, okay, then it is Satwik. And when we do the activity, and let us say yagna is performed and we did not get the result that we wanted. Okay, Satwik people, because they don't have Satwik yagnas or yagnas that are done by Satwik people, they do not have any attachment to the fruits, right? So when the result is not according to what we expected, then it is fine. They don't have any negative reaction to it. But if Rajasic people are doing it, because their only purpose of doing the yajna is to get a particular result, right? So for example, somebody is doing the Rajasic yajna, saying that I want to get, let us say, I want to get a job. Now, let us say we didn't get a job. Then having a negative reaction, either to say that the yajna, somebody said, this yajna, that's all stories, it's not good, or or blaming whoever was let's say we pray to Paramatma.
Advice from
Pray to Paramatma, and then start blaming Paramatma, saying that, oh, because Paramatma doesn't care, and and all. So that is the kind of reaction that Rajasic people would get, because they are looking for that particular result. And Sattvic people, Sattvic yajnas, we conduct the yajna, leave it to Paramatma. Whether we get the result or not is not in our hands, right? The Paramatma is the one who is blessing. And when the result is obtained, result is obtained, we don't claim that the result is because we did the yajna. We only say that we did our duty because we had to do it, right? That's what it is saying as Sattvic yajna. We have to do that. Yastavyam, I have to do it. It is my duty. If I have to get this kind of a fruit, I have to do this activity. This is what is ordained in the scriptures. So let me do that activity. That's it. My job ends there. Whatever may be the result, it is because Paramatma's blessings, not because I did the activity. Okay, so but here these Rajasic people, they connect the result to their activity, so and they try to show off.
Okay, Anand, thank you.
Sure. So, I mean, we can apply to any activity that we are doing, not just the actual yajna that we know according to scriptures that, the people performing the yajna with the homam and all. Any activity that we do, we offer it as service to God. We do it as service to God. And without attachment to the fruits. That is what we need to try to do. But if you are doing the activity as with attachment and with show off for the purpose of showing off, then that is rajasic. Okay. Okay, now the tamasic. Vidhihinam
Vidhihinam
Inamasrutanam
srutanam
mantrahinam adakshinam
mantrahinam adakshinam
Shraddha virahitam yajnam
Shraddha virahitam yajnam
tamasam parichakshate.
tamasam
Tamasam
parichakshate.
parichakshate.
Let's chant together.
Vidhihinam
Vidhihinam
Srustanam
mantrahinam adakshinam
mantrahinam
Shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate.
So Lord Krishna is talking about yajnam tamasam yajna. Okay, tamasic yajna. What is said as tamasic yajna is vidhihinam. Vidhihinam is that is devoid of authorization from the scholars, not based on scriptural authority. Basically, not following scriptures. Okay, so any yajna that is performed which is not following the what is given in the scriptures. Okay. Then second is asrishtanam. Yajna that is performed using material that is not earned by righteous means. Okay. Righteous means is like the whatever material is earned by not following the scriptures again. So the procedure is not following the scriptures, and also the material that is used is not earned, not produced by following the scriptures. I mean, everywhere the scriptures have so much, so much
emphasis.
Yeah, importance. Yeah. Then mantrahinam. Mantrahinam is devoid of proper mantras. Okay. So again, these mantras are coming from the scriptures, right? So and yajna, whatever may be the, so let us say we want to perform the yajna for a particular purpose, to pray to a particular say devata. Okay, so there must be some procedure that must be given in the scriptures for that. So we have to follow that, and then we need to use the material that is rightfully earned. Okay, not by taking shortcuts, and not by harming others and all that. So material that is produced or earned by righteous means, and then the scriptures will provide the mantras, and those mantras, the mantras are the whatever we chant while doing the yajna, right? So that must be chanted according to the scriptures again. It's not like, read from a book. Okay. So all the mantras have a particular pronunciation. We have to use proper pronunciation for those. Again, that is part of the procedure itself, or on how to chant that particular mantra. Okay. Adaksynam. Adaksynam is without offering proper remuneration to those who are performing the yajna. So this is very, very important. I mean, so one who is performing the yajna, when they perform the yajna, they are the ones who are doing all the activities using the material. They are the ones who are chanting the prayers, chanting the mantras. Now, they will, I mean, automatically they are the ones who will get the result, right? Now, they need to transfer that. They are doing it for the purpose of somebody. And so whoever is the yajamani, whoever is the one who is sponsoring that yajna, who wants these priests or scholars, Vedic scholars, to do the yajna on behalf of them, they need to be those scholars or priests, Ritviks we call, for if it is yajna, they're performing the yajna, the homam. So the Ritviks need to be properly, compensated for, depending on the yajna again, right? If the compensation is not proper, then it becomes tamasic yajna. We do not get the right result. So whoever is the yajamani, whoever is sponsoring that particular yajna, if they don't compensate the people who are actually not people, Ritviks or priests, who if they are not compensated properly, then the yajna does not give the right result. Okay. So, but unfortunately, this is something that is overlooked. So we say, oh, why do we have to pay so much to these people? Okay. I mean, so one of the, like, if we are sponsoring for a particular yajna, the first thing that we need to look for is to give, sponsor for the dakshina directly, that which goes to the priest. Okay. I mean, that is how much importance this is. Lord Krishna even mentioned it as one of the items. So we need to really find out how much the Ritviks are being paid for, or company. Not, it's not a salary. It's no matter how much we do, it is not sufficient actually. But there must be some, according to the scriptures, according to the current conditions, they need to be compensated properly, so that they become satisfied. Once they are satisfied, then the result will be proper. Otherwise, it becomes tamasic. So we need to make sure that whoever did the action, the yajna, whoever performed the yajna, they need to be compensated properly. And if we are part of that activity, then again, not to show off, it need not be even the person who is receiving the money. Let us say if it's the money that we are giving, that person may not even know that we sponsored. But if we are indirectly part of that money that goes to the priest, who becomes satisfied after doing the yajna, then we get the benefit of doing the yajna. Otherwise, no. Then the last is Shraddha Virahitam. So performed without faith. Okay. If it is performed without faith, then it becomes tamasic yajna. So there's 5 things: vidhinam, not following the scriptures; Asrishtanam, the material is not earned righteously. Mantrahinam, not following the proper mantras. Okay, doing whatever, just put some active, do something, right? Like if you see on a TV or something like that, or read a book, and then just oh, okay, I can do it as well, and then let me do it. Then it doesn't give the proper result. Adaksynam, if you don't properly remunerate, give the remuneration to the priest, then it becomes tamasic, and shraddha virahitam. So if it is done without faith. So these 5 are so important. I mean, so that it doesn't become tamasic. But if they are not, if it is according to Lord Krishna mentioned here, it becomes tamasic yagna. So whatever, I mean, if we want to convert it to like any activity that we do, right? Any activity that we do must be following the procedure, whatever may be the procedure. Okay. And all the material is also again obtained using, proper procedures. Then it is done now when it is being conducted, that activity that we are conducting, it is according to again the procedures properly done, following all the steps, for example. And then let us say somebody else is doing the activity for us. They need to be properly compensated. They need to be happy. And we need to have faith, performed with faith, conviction that, I will be getting, I'm doing this activity, that I'm doing it as service to God. With that faith, I need to do it. Okay. If we do it, then it becomes Satwik. If you don't do it, then it becomes Tamasic. And in between, like we have Rajasic. So if I'm doing it just for getting the results for myself, and then I want to show off, then it becomes Rajasic. These people, Rajasic Yagna, it follows the scriptures. Only thing is that they are, they are attached to the fruits. They're only doing it for the sake of materialistic benefits, to enjoy here, or to get the Swarga or heaven. And then again, that is, I want to enjoy, that kind of attitude, right? So I need to get more punyam so that I get to enjoy in heaven. That is focusing on ourselves again, not on Paramatma, not as service to Paramatma. So then again, it becomes Rajasic.
Oh, Prasad Garu. So here, in first 4 bullets we hear, right? First 4. I mean, the less control we have, right? Because more a priest, we rely upon a priest. And yes, I think as a service to God, that's, and first 3, I should say, yeah. 4th one, yeah, of course, yeah. Remuneration, that's right? I mean, pretty much you rely upon a priest who does these things. And it's a little challenging, right? Because we usually, I won't know the steps and
yeah, that is right. I mean, it is very important to find the right person who understand, who knows the scriptures, right? So if let us say nobody's studying Vedas, okay, or they are not properly trained by the guru, so they're only doing it for the purpose of earning money. It becomes a job for them. Then it is not, we are not in a good place in that time. You're absolutely right. We need to, again, this is one thing that Sri Swamiji has established the Vedic schools. From childhood onwards, they are trained, taught the Veda and Agama. Of course, it's so huge, right? I mean, there are specializations. just like in any other study. So they are trained in different specializations, so that we will have people who we can depend on, right? So if we don't have that, then we have a problem. You're absolutely right. I mean, if there's no one who knows the scriptures, then their advice is not good, right?
And we can't completely. I think probably responsibility lies in both, probably not only him, but I think even myself.
Yeah, it becomes tamasic yajna.
Yeah.
So we don't get the right result. I mean, that is bottom line.
Yeah.
Tamasic yajna develops the tamasic qualities in us, and then the results are obviously we go down. We don't get the proper result.
But suppose we are conducting, right? I mean, the priest comes and we don't know entirely his, say, he's not done his duty, right? I know we are not doing anything, expecting, but the papam that, that comes out incomplete yagna, still we will get that.
So if we are doing it with faith, so you're
Yeah.
saying that we have the faith,
Mhm.
and we properly compensate for the priest, but we don't know whether the priest followed the scriptures, and of course we are providing the material that is properly earned,
Right.
but the procedure that we don't know whether it is according to scriptures or not, and whether the mantras are proper or not for that particular yajna. So this is again, yeah, it is responsibility of the person who is actually doing it, Ratvik or priest. So now it is mentioned that if willfully the priest is taking shortcuts, not doing things properly, they will face whatever consequences. So that's why priests are, I mean, they're taught. I mean, again, we know this based on our interaction with the properly educated priests, right? They say that if they are not able to do what is supposed to be done, actually it is the other way. If let us say a person who really knows the scriptures and wants to follow the procedures, but the people who are saying, oh, no, I don't have that much time. Okay. Or, why don't you take a shortcut? Why don't you do it in half an hour? Or, I can't get that kind of a material. Why don't you do something else? So it is the other way. Like people who do not appreciate the importance of the scriptures and following the procedures, prescriptions that are given in the scriptures, they think that, okay, doing it for 15-20 minutes, half an hour, yeah, I mean, that's fine. We don't really know. If let us say they have 2 hours puja they have to do, and we start becoming impatient after 1 hour, and then say, hey, why don't you finish, I mean, the faith will go away. And then then because they are not, we think that they are not doing proper job, so then we don't start paying them, and then the priest feels the pressure. Okay, if you want me to do it in 1 hour, let me do it in 1 hour. But then they will kind of pass on the blame to whoever is saying that, right? I mean, so it's not to blame anybody, but basically importance, it is very important to follow, know the scriptures. It is very important to follow the scriptures. And so it's very important for us to identify, based on our knowledge or our research, identify those priests who have the knowledge. Okay, not those who are commercial. Okay. not those who are talking, not the scriptural things, but they're friendly and then talking and then, oh, I can do this, whatever you want, or they claim that, oh, if I do this, you will get this, or these people did, I did the activity and then they got the results, so now you also do it. These are the kind of things that, or they are doing it as a, like, unfortunately, what is happening is that it is kind of treated as kind of a job, right? 9 to 5 kind of a job.
Mhm.
The priest is not 9 to 5 kind of a job.
Mm.
Okay, so they, if they have to follow the scriptures, and they have to chant certain mantras, they need to be prepared 24/7. I mean, it's not like just do whatever outside that 9 to 5, and then suddenly take bath and then, like, the way we go to office, right? I mean, we just do anything, and then when we go to office, we do the office work.
Mm.
So anybody can do office work. They say, oh, anybody can do priest work. What is there? Somebody is just standing in front of God and then simply chanting some slokas. I mean, anybody can do it. That is a wrong thing. I mean, understanding. They have to be prepared. They have to prepare themselves 24/7. There are certain things that they cannot do. And then there are certain things that they have to do always. So, for example, uh, Sandhya Vandanam, 3 times Sandhya Vandanam, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So they have to do the 3 times Sandhya Vandanam every day. Then only they can chant certain mantras, right?
Mm. Mm.
So if I mean, that is not part of, like, the yajna, for example, right? It's not part of yajna. So whether that priest is doing Sandhya Vandanam morning, afternoon, and evening, we don't know. So, but if you just see that, if it is treated as a job, okay, anybody can come and do the yajna for 3 hours, right? And then they don't have, if they don't do Sandhya Vandanam, and I mean, that is one example, right? They have so many things like that, which they have to do so that they are able to properly, they're prepared to actually follow that procedure as per the scriptures. If they are not prepared, if their body is not prepared, their mind is not prepared, okay, then they are not following the scriptures. Even though outside they are able to, they are able to say those words, and we are able to hear the words, but it is not according to scriptures again. Okay, so it is very important that we identify those who are authentic, who have understanding. They understand the scriptures, they follow the procedures, and not direct them, not say that, oh, you do it according to what I say. Okay, we have to let them do their job. Okay, so
Hariprasad, there one more question.
sure.
Usually, now, if because of unavailability of a good priest or like any other thing, some people they prefer, we have many pre-recorded CDs or even books. So looking at them, we chant or we listen the instructions and we perform the puja and we plan to donate the amount, I mean, whatever for the remuneration in a temple or so. So this kind of scenario, what it will be considered?
Yeah. So we need to get advice of the acharyas. Okay, it is like they say that, right? Like before doing any exercise, you have to consult a doctor, isn't it? So just trying to give analogy there. So if the procedure can be done by us. Acharya who knows that advises that yes, you can do it, and initiates us that we can do it. And this is a procedure, this is what you need to do, whatever is the time, however you need to prepare yourself, and whatever mantra you can chant. If the acharya who knows the scriptures advises, then yes, it can be done. But just because we read or hear by ourselves that, oh, by doing this, this is the benefit I'm going to get, and put a CD and then follow along with it, then it may or may not give the right result. Okay. Again, it may be possible that that is simple thing, again, there's nothing that is we are breaking this procedure there, then it's fine. But if depending on whether what kind of mantra it is, right? See, there are certain mantras that cannot be chanted by anybody at any time, right? So depending on what the procedure is, it it may either be beneficial or it may give a negative result.
Okay.
So before we do anything like that, it's better to get the advice of the people who have the knowledge.
Yeah, like monthly, some people do like on the Purnima, Satyanarayan Vratam, or like Rudrabhishekam for, Pradosham Kalam. So for those kind of things, basically, it's tough.
Yeah,
Because
it
it's
is,
auspicious day, all priests are already busy.
if a priest has who has the knowledge of the scriptures, okay, gives you proper instructions and tells do's what should be do's and don'ts, and what kind of material needs to be used, and you understand it thoroughly, and you are initiated, that means they tell you the procedure, and you like one time they do it, they make you do it, right? And you follow the procedure, you understand the procedure, you know how to chant the mantra,
Yes.
then it is fine. But if we don't know anything, just got a CD and then, okay, I want to do it, then may or may not give the right result.
Yeah, no, I got it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's very important to get the get acharya's blessings. Acharya has to initiate. So one more thing is, I think it may come later also, that if I want to do, if I want to chant, let us say Ramayana, Sudarshana Shatakam, or any thing, it is important that we be initiated by a priest or acharya or a scholar who has the knowledge. Okay, we can't just pick up a book and then start reading the scriptures ourselves. We have to be initiated.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, it's good. It's very important to understand that some of the procedures were introduced for commercial reasons. So, again, we shouldn't be doubting everything, but we need to also make sure that we get the proper guidance, because some people may treat it as a they will they will either get importance or money because of that, so they may propose that. So we need to be careful with that.
Yeah, these
The
days
scriptures, some of them may not be in scriptures, but people may say so that it is beneficial for them. Again, this is because of the Rajasic and Tamasic qualities of those who want to see that as their own benefit rather than benefit to others. So we need to be careful. So it's very important to get a acharya, and be under the guidance of a proper acharya.
But these days, implementing rituals is very tough. That's my personal experience. I know people have changed a lot. I mean, a lot of ignorance. Of course, I mean, personally, I do insist on certain things, but it's always a friction,
Yeah.
Either you lose relations or it's not that I'm scared of something, if people really don't understand, we don't need the relation, but that's what I experience these days. Like, I mean, people, 99% people have got used to this wrong, everything.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, some of these procedures are difficult for our day-to-day life, or in other words, we can do them, but we kind of see them as some kind of a disturbance in our, it's possible to do. Everybody can do them actually, but unfortunately, we don't. Because it is hard for us to do. We had to change our lifestyle, so it becomes difficult. So people don't follow it.
Yeah, I mean, our scriptures are so much logic in it. Even then, people are so reluctant to follow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we can't do much about it.
I know. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it is. There are so many things that we can learn from this and do ourselves, and where there is a where there is an opportunity, we tell others, and if they are able to listen, fine. If not, it's fine. I mean, we can't do much about it, unfortunately.
Right.
Okay. We'll start 14. Lord Krishna is talking about tapas. Okay. Tapaha. Sloka 14. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna.
Devadvija Guru Prajna.
Pujanam Sauchamarjavam.
Pujanam Sauchamarjavam.
Brahmacharya Mahimsa cha.
Brahmacharya Mahimsa cha.
Sariram Tapa Uchyate.
Sariram Tapa Uchyate.
Let's chant together.
Devadvija Guru Prajna.
Pujanam
Sauchamarjavam.
Brahmacharya
Mahimsa cha.
Sariram Tapa Uchyate. Okay. So tapaha, that is austerity. Okay. So now we are talking about austerity or self-discipline or moral conduct. Okay. So there are, so we'll learn about Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, distinctions of tapas also, tapaha also. But before that, we need to understand what is, what is austerity, right? So tapas typically, people, I mean, this is what it comes to our mind. Oh, he's doing tapas means, he goes to forest or some a secluded place and then, starts chanting a mantra and then, standing on one leg and right, that kind of thing comes to us typically. But that is, of course, that is one of them, but it is basically tapas is, there are three categories. One is sariram tapaha, that is related to body, austerity that is related to body, that we are learning. We'll see the other two later. So what is austerity related to body? Okay. Deva, Dvija, Guru, Prajna, Pujanam. So worship of Deva, Devatas. Dvija. Dvija is twice born, that is Brahmanas. Basically those who, when we take birth, or anyone who takes birth, they are not born with knowledge of the scriptures, right? So that is a normal birth, a physical birth. But at 8 years of age, or whatever is the age, they go through a certain procedure which makes them eligible to start learning Vedas, or they start going through the journey of learning and practicing Vedas or scriptures.
Like Upanayanam?
Upanayanam, yes. So that is the second birth. So now they are the birth of the knowledge, right? Or the spiritual birth, that we can say. So that is the second birth. Okay. So physical birth and the birth of the knowledge, and then from that birth they start growing in that direction. Okay, the knowledge starts growing, and then they start practicing. Okay, so that is so Dvija is a Brahmana who has the knowledge of the Vedas, or who is practicing the scriptures, practicing the Vedas. So that is, so pujanam, worship of those. Guru, teachers, acharyas, gurus. Prajna is scholarly people. Okay, so sariram tapaha, that is body, like austerity of the body. The first thing is worship of these four categories. So that is one type of tapas, tapaha. Okay, one type of austerity is to actually worship Devata. I mean, we are doing the activity using our body here, right? When we are doing the worship, the puja, you are doing the puja to, like, when, let us say, take simple example, you are doing the puja in the morning in your house, right, home. So that you're doing the activity with your hands, and offering, you're preparing the prasadam, and then offering to the Paramatma, and chant some slokas, and so everything is you're doing with the body. So that is one tapaha. And when we get a chance, we worship those who are practicing the Vedas. Okay, Brahmanas. Then gurus who are teaching us. Okay, they are the acharyas, teachers who are giving us the knowledge. And then prajna is the scholarly people. They may not be teaching us, they're scholarly, wise people. And then we worship them. We do something with our body, like when we see a wise person, then we do a sastanga namaskaram. So that is, we are doing the tapas. We are doing with the body, that we are prostrating to that person, respecting that person, taking their blessings, you know That is the tapas, shariram tapas, tapaha. And then saucham. Saucham is purity, cleanliness. So taking bath in a sacred river is saucham. So that is another type of shariram tapaha. Then arjavam is having the righteous conduct in line with mana. So this, again, righteous conduct, what we let us say, we all the righteous conduct that we learn from Bhagavad Gita, for example, we are able to practice that, right? So that is arjavam. Brahmacharyam is activities that are leading to self-realization, and also that is one meaning of it. This actually came in one of the previous chapters. And also not engaging in lustful acts with other women, not treating women as objects of pleasure. So brahmacharyam doesn't mean that not getting married. Okay, but even after marriage also, they can be brahmachari. Okay, but even they follow these activities when they follow as mentioned here. So that is brahmacharyam. And ahimsa, not harming others. With our body, now we are not hurting anybody. We are not causing pain or suffering to others. Then that is said to be body austerity or bodily austerity or self-discipline. Okay. Is that okay?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move to sloka 15. Anudvegakaram vakyam.
Anudvegakaram
vakyam
Satyam priyahitam chayat.
Satyam
satyam
Priyahitam
priyahit
Jayat
Swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva.
Svadhyayabhyasanam
Svadhyayabhyasanam
chaiva
Chaiva
Vangmayam tapa uchyate.
Vangmayam
Vangmayam
tapa
Vangmayam Tapa
uchyate
Uchyate
Let's chant together.
Anudvegakaram
Anudvegakaram
vakyam
vakyam
Satyam
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 priyahitam
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 chayate
Jayat
Svadhyayabhyasanam
Svadhyayabhyasanam
chaiva
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 Vangmayam
Vangmayam
tapa
Tapa
uchyate.
Uchyate.
So there is another type of tapas, tapaha, austerity, that is related to speech, Vangmayam. Okay. This is Vangmayam. Okay. NG is pronounced together, and it is not stressed. Okay. So Vangmayam. So Vangmayam tapaha. What is said to be Vangmayam tapaha, or austerity related to speech, is anudvegakaram vakyam. When that whatever we speak, that speech is anudvegakaram, na udvegakaram, that does not cause distress or anxiety to others. Okay, whatever we speak is not causing distress or anxiety, is anudvegakaram. That is tapaha. Okay, but related to our speech. Okay, tapaha. We have to remember all these points. Then how is that speech? That is tapaha. Satyam is truthful. Priyam, Priya Hitam is combined here. So Priya and Hitam. So that is agreeable, pleasing. Priyam is agreeable, and Hitam is beneficial. So the speech that is truthful, agreeable, and beneficial, all of them together. So that is, if we speak that way, then we are doing the Vangmayam Tapaha, or we are, that is the austerity of related to speech. Swadhyayabhyasanam. So that is recitation of scriptures. We are, when we are speaking, we are reciting the scriptures. Of course, not always, like 24/7 we won't be reciting, but when we are reciting scriptures, we are doing the austerity of tapas. Sorry, austerity of Vangmayam, that is austerity related to speech. So these are the, so anudvegakaram, satyam, priyam, hitam, swadhyaya abhyasanam. So that is austerity related to speech. Any questions on this?
Actually, last class I was not there, and I didn't get time to go through that recording, sir. I'm sorry. I'm asking a basic. So the name of this chapter is Shraddha Traya, right? That means 3 types of faith that we are learning.
Faith is of 3 kinds. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that faith generates all these things, and then they are also a kind of three types, right?
The same as like Trigunas.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we are first learned food.
Yep.
And then we learned about the activities.
Yeah, yagna. Yes.
Okay. Is there a next third?
Then is tapas and dana.
Oh.
So
Food,
then that's
activity,
it. That's,
tapas and dana.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, these are, if you see it at a very high level, this will define us completely. These 4. So faith is like a foundation, right? And so the food that we eat, the activities that we do, and then we have the austerities. I mean, I don't know. I mean, as time progresses, I don't know how much we are even doing any of these austerities, and then the final is the dhanam. These are the 4 that will define us. That if we know these things, that will form the basis for our life completely, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, yagna, like if you don't do any tapas or dhanam, okay, then we are, of course, we are eating food. We cannot, without that we cannot live. And then we are doing yagna with whatever is applicable to us. So these are the 2. But once we are matured, right, then we do the austerity and also dhanam. So we need to understand the different classifications, categorizations, or distinctions of sattva, rajas, and tamas in each of these categories, so that we understand where we are. Are we sattva, rajas, or tamas in any of these activities, any of these categories? Right? I mean, if
the 4 things that you mentioned, in each one we should self-analyzing whether we have these 3 types. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we will know. I mean, when we are doing, let us say, yagna, right? When you saw the yagna, I mean, if we are doing the activity for show off and then for our own benefit or for attachment to the foods, then you know that we are doing the rajasic. We are following the rajasic yagna, or we are developing the rajasic qualities. Right? We are getting attached to rajas quality. So when we eat food, we know what kind of food, based on what kind of food that we are eating, we know what kind of quality that we are developing in us. So if we are not, let us say this is not there, this chapter is not there, then we don't know clearly. I mean, we may think, right? If let us say somebody is doing yagna, it appears to us that they're doing Satwik activity. But even in yagna, there are 3 categories: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, depending on how we do the activity.
Okay.
Right. So same way for Dhanam also. Dhanam is, if you see at a very high level, Dhanam means good, right? I mean, that, yeah, but there are again 3 levels there: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Sattvic Dhanam gives us the best result. Rajasic Dhanam will keep us in the middle, and Tamasic Dhanam will take us down. Same way, again, austerity, self-discipline is great, we think, but there are categories there also. We will understand, like, so before we go into the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas for the tapaha, we are understanding what is tapaha itself. What is austerity? So there are 3 types of austerities. The one related to body that we saw, and then second is now related to the speech, right?
The austerity is already defined, right, in this poem, in this thing, sloka.
Yeah. They are defining these. I think.
So how is it again? Austerity becomes
Yeah.
one of the 3.
Let us go through. It
Okay.
will be clear in the next 2 slokas.
Okay.
So this is Vangmayam Tapaha, related to speech. Okay. It will be clear. No worries. I understand your question.
I'm sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Sloka 16. Manah prasada saumyatvam.
Mana prasada saumyatvam
Maunamatma vinigraha.
Maunama
Vinigraha
Bhava samsuddhi rityetat.
Bhava
Samsuddhirvityetat
Tapo manasamuchyate.
Tapo
Manasam
Let's chant together.
Mana
prasada
Manapasada
saumyatvam
Maunamatma
Maunamatma
vinigraha.
vinigraha
Bhava
Samsuddhi
samsuddhi Tapo
Tapo manasamuchyate.
So tapaha manasam. Now the third category is austerity of mind. Okay, austerity related to mind. So what is that? Manaha prasadaha. So that is calmness of mind, peaceful mind, balanced, feel free from anger, desire, delusion, pride, and greed. So that is the first one. Okay, so when our mind is calm, peaceful, balanced, free from anger and so on, then we are doing the tapas of mind. Okay, this is tapas related to mind. Saumyatvam is thinking about good of others, always wishing happiness, good of others. That is saumyatvam. Maunam is, the literal meaning is silence, not speaking, but here basically it is restraining our speech to what is necessary. So basically using our mind, we control or we restrain our speech. So we speak only what is necessary. Other times we don't speak at all. Okay, that is maunam. Okay, so I mean, it's like a filter we have to put in our mind. Mind controls our speech. So we don't speak whatever comes to our mind. If we speak whatever comes to our mind, then we are not doing the tapas, austerity of mind. Atma vinigraha is self-restraint, focus on the objects of meditation. It's Atma is self, right? Vinigraha is control, self-restraint. So we are focusing on controlling ourselves. Okay. Again, that is coming from the mind, right? So that is a mind austerity. Bhava samsuddhihi is being free of thinking about topics not related to Atma. Atma samsuddhihi. I mean, we kind of we don't waste our time thinking about other things which are not related to Atma. Okay. We focus on Atma. Again, that is the austerity of mind. That is self-control. Austerity means self-control, right? So self-control of mind is when we keep it balanced, free from anger, desire, and so on. We think of good of others always. We speak only when it is necessary. We have self-control and do the meditation. And we only focus on Atma. Okay, our focus is Atma, not other irrelevant topics. Then we are doing this. We are for having the self-control of mind. Okay. So we'll see 17 and 18. So we'll understand that question, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 17, sloka 17. Sraddhaya paraya taptam
Shraddhaya paraya taptam
tapastatrividham naraihi
tapastat-trividham naraihi
aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi
aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi
satvikam parichakshate.
satvikam parichakshate.
Let's chant together.
Shraddhaya paraya
paraya
taptam
taptam
tapastat-trividham naraihi aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi satvikam parichakshate.
Okay. So now Lord Krishna is saying what is Satvika Tapaha. Okay. So Satvikam, Tapaha becomes Satvikam when? Or what is said to be Satvikam Tapaha? So that is so we learned about in the previous 3 slokas Tat Trividham Tapaha. We learned about those threefold austerities related to Sariram, Vangmayam, and Manaha.
Sorry. Manaha,
yeah. So we'll learn about those 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tat Trividham Tapaha. Okay. If we taptam, if they are performed, which are performed Shraddhaya Paraya. So if they are performed with greatest faith,
Mm.
okay, with greatest faith,
Mm.
conviction, okay, by who? Naraihi, by men who are aphala kangshibihi. It's coming again. So they are by those who are not longing for fruits. Okay. So those who are not longing for fruits and they do the yajna, that yajna is called Satwika yajna, right?
Mm.
Now, if we are practicing those three kinds of austerities related to body, speech, and manas,
Mm.
with no attachment to the fruits, not longing for fruits, and yuktaihi. This came many times earlier in Bhagavad Gita. So yuktaihi is united with. Okay, united with. United with who? United means basically constantly engaging in like in that thinking that everything is a worship or a service to God. So whatever we do is we are always engaged in thinking that it is service to God only. Okay.
Mm.
So one is not getting attached to it, not longing for the fruits. And the second is that doing it as service. Again, it's very similar. Concept is same in Satwika Yajna, right? So here also it's the same thing. So if we are following the self-discipline, doing it without focusing or without having attachment to the fruits, without longing for the fruits, whatever may be the results of those austerities, of those self-disciplining activities, and doing that as service to God, always engaging ourselves in in worship. I mean, doing it as service to God. Okay, even that self-discipline is service to God. Then that is called Satwik self-discipline or Satwik austerity. Okay, if we are doing it for our own, I mean, it will come later. So you understood, right? I mean, this is we have no attachment to the fruits, or we are not longing for the fruits, that we want some benefit out of it for our enjoyment, right? And we are always focused on Paramatma, and we do it as service to God. Then that self-discipline is Sattvic self-discipline.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying like it will be defined in coming slokas. So I understood Sattvic austerity. Austerity is self-discipline, right? I mean, regarding body, mind, speech, if you have these qualities, like good qualities, that is Sattvic. So if you don't follow those, so will it be considered as Rajasic austerity? Because that is what I'm not able to. I mean, if you think if it is coming, if it will be explained in following in a slokas, I'll wait.
Yeah, it is. Next sloka is that only.
Okay, because austerity itself is a good thing, right? So that's what I was a little confused. But anyway, yeah, we will see.
Yep. The next one is Rajasic. So then that will explain.
Okay.
So sloka 18. Satkaramana pujartham
Satkaramana pujartham
tapodambhena chaivayat
tapodambhena chaiva yat
kriyate tadiha proktam
kriyate tadaha proktam
rajasam chalamadhruvam.
rajasam chalamadhruvam.
Let's chant together.
Satkaramana pujartham tapo dambhena chaiva yat kriyate dadhi proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam.
Okay, so Rajasam. So Lord Krishna is saying now Rajasam, right? So what is the tapas, austerity? That is Rajasam. That is called Rajasic tapas. Okay. Satkaramana pujartham. Okay. That is done for the sake of satkara, that is gaining respect. Mana is for getting a praise, or puja, that is for worship. Okay, so if an austerity is performed where for the sake of getting a respect, I want others to respect me. Okay, this is for me, right? So I want the result coming to me. What kind of result coming to me is I want respect. I want others to respect me. That respect is coming because of the the manas, right? So like when people feel that they see, oh, we are doing a great self-discipline, right? Then they start respecting us. Okay, that is coming from their manas, that's related to manas. We are feeling happy that I am being respected. Okay, so that is satkara. Mana is praise. Others are saying those words, right? Oh, you are great. And we are getting happiness listening to that praise, right? We are expecting that praise and we are getting happy listening to that praising words. And worship, others are worshiping us, they're falling on our feet. Okay, so then or doing some puja, all that. And if I'm doing the self discipline or austerity expecting these things, then it is rajasic. Okay. And dambhena, so by or with dambha. So again, I'm doing it, those austerity activities, self-discipline. I'm following the self-discipline in order to show off. Okay, to show off or with show off. Then it is rajasic. Very simple. One is I am expecting a result and I'm doing it with ostentation, dambha. I think same was there for see Rajasik Yagna. What was Rajasik Yagna? You are doing it. You're after aiming for fruits, right? You want some result for yourself. Okay, and doing it for the sake of show off. Same here. So we are expecting that result. That result is others showing respect, others praising us, and others worshipping us. And we are doing it for the purpose of show off, for the sake of show off, or by showing off. When we are following this activity, we are showing off. Then it is rajasic. And that Rajasic, okay, is Chalam Adruvam. So Chalam is unstable. So it's very unstable. And Adruvam is not lasting. It is not permanent. The result of these is not stable, and also it will not be, even if you get the result, it will be not lasting. Not stable means we have always fear whether I get this or not. See, basically, when we are doing the self-discipline or austerity, and we are expecting the respect or praise or worship, we have the fear of not getting it. Or sometimes we get, sometimes. So, first is the fear, right? It is not stable, unstable. Okay. And even if it comes, it's not going to last forever. Right? So that is what Lord Krishna is saying. The Rajasic austerity, the result, if we are longing for the result, if we are doing it for the sake of gaining respect or getting praise, or people worshipping us, those either are not stable. Okay. We may, or we have fear of not getting them, right? Sometimes we think we get it, sometimes we don't. And then even if we get them, they are not lasting forever. So it is not advised to have the self-discipline for the sake of respect, praise, or worship, and self-discipline with ostentation, show off.
Yeah, I understand all these slokas, right? This tapas, is basically about our nara activities, how we have to, live. But can we still relate it to the, in Puranas we read about, say, asuras or some even great people, right? When the tapas that they do, they did, for the sake of their power, or some people, we read stories like they did tapas to gain like eternity or something like that. So can we relate? So can we say that is also like kind of Rajasic austerity? Okay.
Yeah, Rajasic and Tamasic. If an austerity is performed for the sake of getting respect, praise, or worship, as a way to show off, then it is Rajasic.
Okay.
Now, if the same, of course, we'll not cover the next sloka, but the third category is like Tamasic, right? Tamasic austerity. They basically torture themselves or torture others in the name of self-discipline.
Okay.
Okay. So what was the Tamasic Yagna? Tamasic Yagna is not following the scriptures. Okay, not using the right material and all that. So here Tamasic austerity is basically not following the scriptures. So when they don't follow the scriptures, they are torturing themselves. They're also ignorant. They don't know. So again, they tend to torture themselves by not knowing the proper procedure. Okay. So those are the three: Sattva austerity, Rajasic austerity, and Tamasic austerity. Sattva austerity is done with good faith, as service to God, right? Great. Okay, not longing for fruits and always treating it as service to God. Okay, so then not selfish, and they are not showing off. They are following the procedure. They are having a lot of faith when they do it with a lot of conviction. They show interest. They show focus, right? They're not bothered about, whether the result will come or not, whether somebody is observing me or not. Doesn't matter. They're always doing what is right with faith as service to God, without without focusing on the results and without longing for the fruits, right? So that is Satwik. And when we do the same thing with expectation on the fruits, right? Like respect, praise, and worship, and we want to show off that I am doing that activity, then it is Rajasic, and we may not get the result, and even if we get the result, then it will not be lasting long. And Tamasic is basically doing the same self-discipline to extreme levels, so either torture, because they don't have the knowledge, or they're ignorant, so they basically torture themselves. We'll see that sloka next week.
Okay.
Varaprasad Garu, just one thing. I
Sure.
was trying to listen to the audios shared. I was able to view all the presentation, but the audio somehow I'm playing and they were not, it was not audible. I changed my phone actually 10 days back, but I don't think that's a problem. So maybe is it the problem with everyone, or I just wanted to just once confirm about it.
Last week recording, I was able to some
Oh, the
extent.
audio, just the audio ones?
Yes.
Mean the reciting of slokas by Swamiji? What
Yes,
is
yes.
meant by audio? I can able to hear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just my phone. Then I'll check, because I checked even the previous week and last week. I had some, so maybe with the phone, I'll just try to get. Thank you.
Oh, the ones that we send, each sloka that we send on a daily, that one?
Yes. I play it, but I don't hear any voice. So I'm not sure what's wrong. I have to check. But
Oh.
presentation, I'm able to, it's audible and I can see it. So not sure if there is some software issue. I'll just check it.
Okay, sure. Okay, any questions before we conclude? No? The Deepavali day was, Sri Swamiji's Tirunakshatram birthday.
Yeah.
It was very auspicious. Yeah, thing. We all celebrated.
What do they do for Swami's birthday?
We do the Pada Puja.
Okay.
Here, right? Sri Swamiji is not here. He's in India, in Hyderabad. Practicing the Chaturmasya Vratam. But here we have the Swamiji's Padukas, the Padukas that Swamiji used and blessed to us. So we do the Paduka Puja, basically, doing the puja to Sri Swamiji's lotus feet, and take the tirtham, and while doing the puja, we do the Ashtottaram of Sri Swamiji. Of course, before that, we did the Lakshmi Puja, Lakshmi Ashtottaram, because it was also Deepavali day.
Okay.
And then take the tirtham and prasadam. In India, Sri Swamiji actually celebrates the birthday by honoring, a Vedic scholar, or one or more Vedic scholars every year. So, that's a great thing, right? Like typically when we celebrate our birthday, we feel great. Oh, I am so many years of age, and then how can I celebrate? What kind of things I need to buy for myself? Clothes or other items, or what kind of gifts I'm going to get, who is wishing me, right? Everything is
Yes,
centered
all
on
those are there.
ourselves.
Ah.
So we feel great when somebody wishes us, and then we have good food, again, the food that we like, or cut cake, or everything is centered around us, right? Around if it's my birthday, everything will be centered around my birthday. What will other people do for me, right? But Sri Swamiji's birthday celebration is the opposite. I mean, on that day, Sri Swamiji does the what is given in the scriptures. I mean, it's so great. I mean, every activity that we see Sri Swamiji's activities. What is that sloka? Just mentioned here. Okay, Deva Dvija Guru Prajna. So Swamiji is doing the Sariram Tapaha on the day, on the day of Tirunakshatra birthday. Swamiji is doing the puja, the worship, or respecting, or felicitating the Guru. I mean, first is Guru. Sri Swamiji is, of course, he prays to his Guru. That's the first thing that Sri Swamiji does. And he is felicitating the Prajna, the wise scholarly, the Vedic scholars, right? So identifies one or more Vedic scholars. This year, one Vedic scholar. And every year on the birthday, that is the main event. So Sri Swamiji personally, I mean, these Vedic scholars, unfortunately, some of them, they have so much Vedic knowledge, but because nobody is recognizing them, right? They are some of them are not in a good position in society, not people financially,
Yes.
and also not many people maybe trying to learn from them, because things have changed.
Yes, yes.
So Sri Swamiji identifies those scholars who are well deserving, and brings them up. I mean, of course, not to again, basically it's showing respect to those scholars, and
as well as along with that one to Vedas also.
yes, exactly. They are,
them.
when Sri Swamiji, you should listen to Sri Swamiji's speech. Basically, they are the walking Vedas. So Sri Swamiji, by felicitating the person, Sri Swamiji is also respecting the Vedas.
Yes, yes.
And that is our duty. So that is what Sri Swamiji, of course, on every, several days he may be doing that, but on the day of Tirunakshatram birthday,
he will definitely
this
do
is
this.
the main activity. Focus is not on himself. Focus is on serving, felicitating, respecting, or doing the worship, or of the great scholars, Vedic scholars, and also indirectly, respecting our Veda and promoting that activity so that people will know. So, yeah.
And by looking at that, small kids who are learning Vedas may get some inspiration and think, okay, yes, it will give some respect to us in future, something like that they may feel.
Yeah, yes. So there is respect for us in the society. It's not like we'll be forgotten. We'll be, left alone. And Sri Swamiji is, of course, training, bringing up all these Vedic scholars, also in the Veda Vidyalaya. And these are coming from all over the country, and actually some were identified from Nepal also in previous years. So wherever they are, bring them up and then show that, you know, a great organization like or JET, Jair Educational Trust, and the Vedic scholars that are associated with this organization, all of them, not just Sri Swamiji, right? Everybody is showing respect to them. So they feel, motivated. They feel that, yes, we can do even more. And they themselves may be taking that into their own areas, and then they will do those activities. So that way it will keep spreading.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always think that birthday, Sri Swamiji teaches us that birthday should be to do these these activities. And perfect example is doing the tapas on that day. Actually, tapas is 24/7. We are either doing Sariram tapas or Vangmaya tapas or Manasik tapas. Manas. So there's nothing that is, every second of our time, we are doing any of this, right? So we need to start doing this austerity. So it's not like doing meditation puja. That is the only thing that is tapas, or going somewhere and then doing the meditation is tapas. No, it is it's 24/7 throughout our life. We just if we really understand these and practice them, these three kinds of austerities related to body, speech, and manas, and then doing it as service to God with no expectations. That is even better, right? Satwik tapas.
Thank you, sir. I have one more question.
Sure.
You used the word Chaturmasyam. What is the difference between Chaturmasyam day when Swamiji is doing and is his regular day? What is special about Chaturmasyam?
Chaturmasyam is it's a specific time of the year that I will make it very brief. May not be giving the right answer also. Complete answer you can check in chinajir.org. So basically there are certain rules, procedures that they follow during this time of the year. There's either 4 months or 4 weeks or 4 2-week periods, like that means 8 months, 8 weeks. So during this time they stay in one place, do the focus on the like think about what needs to be done and what should all these activities, like focus more on manas rather than going out to all the places and then doing the activities. Of course, not that they're not doing the activity in these 2 months or 4 months. So chatur means 4, right? So could be 4 months or 4 pakshas or 4 weeks. But of course, there is significance to it, and it is related to the Lord Srimanarayana. So all that you can see in that. So so right now Sri Swamiji is in Hyderabad. Staying in one place. They don't cross. There are procedures like you should not cross rivers,
the boundaries of the village.
Yeah, rivers and things like that. So basically the idea is to be in one place, think, plan, and develop ourselves in whatever activities. Like we will not be spending time on other things, but we can focus on certain activity because we are not going everywhere right? Of course, I mean, there's a lot of significance to it. Please go through that. If you have any questions,
Okay. Thank you.
we can go through that.
Yeah, so in our, I just wanted 1 minute, I'll say
Sure.
this. Yeah, in our we belong to this one, our Ramchandrapur Mutt is what we call in Karnataka. It's like lineage to Shankaracharya again, right? Adi Shankaracharya. So, so the transformation happened, I mean, from one guru to one guru directly, right? So it's one of the direct lineages, apart from the Sringeri Sri Sadguru Ashrama, right? Again, going back to Chaturmasa, in our thing, what they do is, yeah, to your point, it's the same thing, right? But again, they do every day Ram Katha, Ram Leela, they do, right? So every day they take one Hari Katha and then they enact, and then a lot of people plan for 1 month, they do that completely every day. So, yeah, in Bangalore, Malleshwaram area, we have this big event going on every year from our Swamiji. He will not stay in that place, Gurukula, but he will come to Bangalore at that time and then stay. Then
Okay, okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, Chaturmasa only. Yep.
That's good.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll conclude with the concluding prayer. Kayena vacha manasendriyatmana va prakriti swabhava tat sakalam parismai
Narayanaayati samarpayami. Sriman-Narayanayati samarpayami.
Sarvam
Sarvam
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna Om
Om Asmat Gurubhyo
Om
Namaha.
Asmadgurubhyo
Jai Sri
Namaha.